Easter just around the corner, how about sewing a cute little bunny pouch? It's a really nice gift, or maybe for yourself or for your kids. And on this tutorial, I will show you how to make your own DIY pouch. So let's start with printing the pattern. Make sure you print this on 100% or actual size, and make sure you choose the right format. It's either DIN A4 or US letter. This pattern piece, you'll need to put this one together. Just align on the round edge shape and tape together the side piece. Now let's prepare our fabrics and materials together. This piece needs to be cut mirrored. It's really important. You need the bottom, and you need to choose which kind of ears you like. For the faux leather one, I chose the ears with the raw edge. So this is all of our materials and all the pieces that we've prepared. And we still need to make some markings on the side piece. So therefore, I cut out the triangle. See, this is cut mirrored. Same for the lining, cut this mirrored. The raw edges, bunny ears. We have some zipper tabs, a zipper, and we need some binding. So let's make our markings on our side piece. So just place this on, mirrored as well, and draw the V shape, the little triangle. Repeat this for the main pieces. Now we need to fuse our interfacings. I've chosen Decophyllite for this project, but I guess you have your own favorite interfacings. So we will stitch the bottom lining and main piece wrong sides together. Just baste this within seam allowance, and we will do this with the bunny ears too. Therefore, I did not choose a lining. I chose two different colored faux leather pieces, and I will baste them together 1/8 inch from the edge, which is like 3 millimeters from the edge, just like that. If you missed the spot, you can take your scissors and cut off any extra fabric. So the bunny ears are not complete yet. We fold this together. I make a fold in the middle and then baste the short edge together. We fold the other one mirrored and baste this together. Now we can put these pieces aside and take care of the sides and the zipper. So we need to fold the V shape. Just make sure that the lines are on top of each other when you fold it. You can take a pin, a needle, just to check if this is correct, if the fold is correct, and if the two lines are on top of each other. And the faux leather, I don't want to put a pin through this, so I just line it up and take a clip to secure this the right way. And then we will take this to the sewing machine and sew this. So when you sew this, you can lock your stitch at the beginning, but do not lock your stitch at the end. See, I sew the line and leave a long tail, a long thread, and then I will make a double knot for for the thread and trim it off a little bit. And I repeat this with all the pieces, with the lining pieces as well as the main fabric pieces. Just make a double knot, trim this a little bit off. Now let's make our zipper. Zipper length is 24 centimeters, 9.5 inch. So you align the short ends of your tab and sew this with 1 centimeter seam allowance, 3/8 inch. And connect these tabs to the zipper. And then you can baste your zipper onto the top edge of your side piece main fabric. I really suggest basting this onto, and you should take care of how you want your zipper to close. So the curved bottom is the ponytail. And then you place the lining fabric from the side piece on top of it and sew this together with 7mm seam allowance. It's 1/4 inch. Just form out everything nicely, finger press it, and then top stitch your zipper. Right here. And now you can attach the other side piece exactly the same way. Start at the bottom, at the back from the bunny, not at the head where the head's gonna be. Place your zipper on top, baste it first, and then put the lining piece on top. So the zipper is sandwiched between the lining and the main fabric. And here you can see me how I sew this with 7mm seam allowance, 1/4 inch. Yes, I struggle with US sizes sometimes, but I'm learning. So when you sew this together, make sure that your zipper pull is not in the way. So get it out of the way before you continue your stitching. Lock your stitch at the beginning and at the end. And just like you did it before, just turn it, finger press it, form out everything nicely because it's a curve. It can be a bit tricky. And then top stitch the zipper. I tried to show you this can be a bit tricky because of the curves, so it's normal that the piece will curl up. It will come up and it's a bit hard to sew, but you can do this. I've changed the position for the camera because it was kind of hard to see, so I hope from here it's a better view. And when you get to the end of the seam, just lock your stitches. And now we can connect our ears to the piece, to the main body. So you place this on the square, just keep it centered and a little bit like centered and as close to each other as possible. And then you'll baste the ears on the main body piece within seam allowance. Now you take your side pieces, main fabrics, right sides together, and lining fabrics, right sides together. And you will sew this edge with 1 centimeter seam allowance, 3/8 inch. Trim the curves with pinking shears, zigzag scissors. And this is tricky with faux leather or any thick fabrics. You will now place the centers together. So the seams from the front and the lining are right sides together, and the bunny ears are sandwiched in between those pieces. and they tend to slip out of the seam, the bunny ears, but we will secure them with clips and then sew this edge with 1 centimeter seam allowance as well, 3/8 inch, and then trim off the seam allowance a little bit. And then you can turn your piece inside out and just get the first glimpse of how your pouch is gonna look like. It's a pretty bulky seam there, so if you have a domestic sewing machine, maybe consider switching to a thicker needle for this part. Maybe a denim needle is right. And then we will baste together the bottom. And for the binding, I will show you a little trick on how I do the binding. I've cut my bias tape. It's a 4 centimeter wide bias tape, and I place it on the bottom piece and attach it to the basting stitch. So later on I would just have to close my bias tape. So then you can turn your pouch wrong side out. Is that the right way to say it? And then you make markings on the bottom piece for the middle, and you align the middle seams, the front middle and the back middle. You align these markings first, and then make some small snips within the curvy section of the main body from your pouch. And then just work your way around the whole piece with clips securing everything together, lining up the outer edges. And this is a very curvy part, so take your time and correct yourself and make sure that everything fits just perfectly. And then again, I suggest you to baste this together. Basting means like just sew this really close to the edge. It's a lot easier, so nothing can slip, nothing can like get out of your seam, because when you just attach it with clips, they tend to slide off sometimes. So baste it first and then sew this with the correct seam allowance of 7 millimeters. No, I'm sorry, with the correct seam allowance of 1 centimeter, 3/8 inch, and then trim off a little bit of the seam allowance, just a tiny bit, maybe like 1 or 2 millimeters. And since we've attached our bias tape already, we can just fold it down. Just fold it to the seam and then over the seam, just hiding all the raw edges. I work my way around the whole piece and secure everything with clips. Of course, you can do the binding like in a traditional way. Maybe have you tried the self-adhesive binding? This is like a lot easier to use. You can get it at Soulful Therapy in Oceans. Maybe you should check out her shop. It's a small business as well. And then you can top stitch your binding, your bias tape, and turn your pouch inside out. And ta-da, this is it. You've made your own bunny pouch. Isn't that cute? Just form out everything nicely. If you have fabric that you can press, I would suggest you to press your pouch one more time. But then just celebrate yourself, you did this. So I decided I wanted one ear to be a little bit different than the other one. And this is optional. You can do this, you don't have to do this, but I really like the look of it. So I just sew this by hand, making like a small fold in the ear and just one small stitch, and I placed the 2 stitches from the top stitching from the ears on top of each other and just secure this with 1 or 2 stitches. But it really depends on how you like your pouch to look. So if you like it like that, you can of course do this with one ear or with both of the ears or with none, whatever you like most. Then I make a knot to secure my stitch and trim off any extra. Maybe 2 or 3 knots are better, of course. I'm sorry that the view is sometimes out of the picture. So this is what it looks like. What do you think? So you saw me doing the raw edges version, but if you use like a fabric like cotton or see, this is the raw edge, then you can take the other pattern piece, this one, if you use a cotton fabric or something, and place them right sides together and sew them with 7mm seam allowance. You trim it a little bit with pinking shears and then turn your ears inside out, and you have this type of ear. The fold is exactly the same. So which version will you make? From what fabric will you make your pouch? If you do this, just tag me because I love to see it. So I hope you like this tutorial. You'll find the pattern pieces on my Patreon account. This is an exception. You get this for a free subscription as well. If you subscribe for the bag maker option, you'll get some bag sewing patterns as well. So you should definitely come and check out my Patreon channel. You'll find the link in the description. See you next time.